personnel. And that's what we did. Not happily, you have to understand that it was not a happy.
Well, there's no one who's less happy than me right now. And like I said, I'll say it one more time. Please don't hold the high school to the standards that you may like to. Because without the right leadership in these positions, it's going to be very difficult to do.
And I also just want to add, because in all fairness and with due respect, because public doesn't know what we do, you know, in closed session. But I do want to make it known that in our closed session about personnel last Monday, it was an extremely lengthy session. We gave the board time to discuss things outside of my presence, so I did not wrongfully influence them in any way. And then certainly I returned. When I returned, we needed further legal advisement. The board had decided to let the attorney go earlier in the evening. We then had questions that came up regarding exactly what Ms. Malinack is presenting. We called the attorney well into the night, and he did assist us with our understanding so we could get a better understanding of NJDOE certification and how that works. And when someone's an evaluator, they're not a principal, they are under a supervisor cert, and it must take that umbrella. We learned a lot, and throughout that week, I continued to speak with the attorney to make sure we were doing everything that was abiding by law. Not about who we wanted or how we wanted it, but that we were abiding by law. And I feel very confident that the packets that everyone received 1 week ago yesterday, so you had them for 8 days, or if someone took them on someone's behalf, and then it was further followed up with packets on Friday, which I remained available all weekend, anytime. I responded to questions and concerns that came my way. All in the hopes that, again, not for my best interest, but for the best interest of the district and the people, the staff, the faculty who want to know what is happening for them next year. That's what all this prep work was for. And I would have loved last Monday, during personnel, to have heard about the issues and heard about directly the complaints, as opposed to having to wait until tonight, after we have the discussions in healthy professional dialogue, only to come forward and find out that what was not discussed or what was not presented or what was perceived as being an approval of was certainly not. And again, this really is not going to directly affect me, but I remain a community member, and I remain dedicated to this community, and I remain a parent. And I really, really hope that perhaps it is me. Perhaps it is me, and that is my hope. That moving forward with the new person sitting in the seat, that more healthy professional dialogue will take place at the right time, so we're not telling people one thing and then acting another way, and we're not being honest about our feelings, our questions, or our concerns. That is my sincere hope for this district.
Ms. Muno had said that there's no one more upset than her right now in the situation, and I understand her angst. But I can tell you there are 4 people, once they hear the news, who are going to be a lot more upset. Who aren't going to know if they have a job tomorrow, who were told they were okay. They received their letter, and they were okay. I understand that there's no harm, believe me. And I wasn't being snarky with you before, and I asked this question. What I'm saying is, you know, we have a list of over 90 people here who've been told, you know, you're in good shape next year. Something might change, but you're in good shape this year. And they believe that. It is my business because I'm their union rep from Jefferson School. 2 of them are in my school. I'm their union rep. I'm also their friend.
I just want to point out something else, because this is important to me, right? And I don't mean to interrupt, but I do want to point out, those letters purposefully went out 2 days after the executive session. So I knew I had a good read on what those recommendations were going to be. And I was not ever asked to not include someone, to not put something down. And I just think it's important to know that the timing of those recommendation letters was extremely important as well.
My question is this, for number 25, and I know Lisa Klein, she's a consummate professional, she deserves whatever she gets from the district. She's an excellent teacher and supervisor. My question is this, when did we find out that this position, number 25, was somehow made it to the minutes? When did we find out that she wasn't going to have that position? Because as you all know, you've been doing this for months. When the dominoes start to
You found out
fall,
now. You found out when the position didn't pass. Our understanding was the position passed earlier in the meeting, and therefore when we got to personnel, we could place her in there because she has tenure rights to that position. So it just happened here.
because when this domino falls and those other 4 women, one of them might get sacked. One of them might not, because it might be somebody else, because they haven't served you, haven't looked at that. So we don't even know. It feels, I don't mean to be disrespectful at all. It feels like a dog and pony show. It really does. And I don't mean, as God knows, I don't mean to be disrespectful. But when 90 names or 100 names are on the list, and people are like, thank God I have my job. I can pay my mortgage. Okay, I can pay my bill. I can pay for my kids' daycare. And then the night of the meeting, oh wait, I'm sorry. Oh, you're not. One of the 4 of you will be going. To me, I can't wrap my mind around it. I just can't. And it's not the only time this has happened in this process. You know, going from 1.4 million to 3.79 million, like, I can't wrap my mind around how we don't know these things. I don't get it. And I apologize if I'm speaking out of place. I know I'm an employee here. I know I'm speaking to my bosses, and maybe I should keep my mouth shut, but I can't wrap my mind around some of these things. How number 25 is in and then it's out. And then 4 people, 1 of 4 people might lose their job. Maybe I'm just naive. I don't know. Could someone, 1 of the 5 who voted against this? Like, how do we not know this?
Mr. Hughes, first of all, yes, I do feel disrespected by you now.
Then you have my apologies, Mr.
I
Harrison.
don't want your apology. I feel disrespected by you completely.
In what way? Could you explain?
You have never faced, nor I hope you never have to face, a situation where, due to a variety of incompetencies, I hope it's only incompetencies.
Is that the word you use?
I'm using the word
Yes.
incompetencies right now.
That's the first time I've heard that in this whole process of 6 months.
Right. Due to a series of incompetencies, this board had to find a way, beginning as late as February, to reduce the budget $3.75 million. That is, the budget is only $42 million. That is 10% of a budget to be reduced. So, was this going to be a difficult task? It has been. It's been an arduous task. Am I happy to see people lose their jobs? No, absolutely not. But, do you have another plan, Mr. Hughes? Well, let me finish.
Sure.
Let me finish. You say a lot. Now I'm going to say what I'm going to say. Okay? All right? Your job is safe. Okay? Your job is safe. Who knows? The monitor, this fiscal monitor may come and cut more jobs. There could be another 10 jobs cut. So understand that, Mr. Hughes, that these board members have worked tirelessly since January. I came on in January. And so did Mrs. Keith. And Mr. Bruno on a re-election. We have worked nonstop on this. So you go to the mic and feel comfortable bashing us.
Wait, where's there bashing? I say the facts. There's no bashing.
There's no, you're giving opinions, Mr. Hughes. You're giving opinions. I will give you facts. That deficit is going to hang over this district for the next 10 years.
I know, I'll be paying it.
Okay? For the next 10 years, so will I. Not just you, so will I. All right? Anybody who owns a home in this town is going to be paying part of it. But don't stand there and say, give your opinions without any financial justification, sir. Okay? Because there is nothing this board could have done more than what we've done. Okay? Nothing more. But all I'm going to say, I'm surprised I said this, but I don't like the way the tone is that we are doing something bad.
Mr. Scott,
representing before the school to represent and bring up these concerns as a rep. I don't think he's disrespecting all this. I don't see any disrespect whatsoever. That's fine. But understand that. Okay?
I understand.
I don't really believe any of us here have any desire to cut anything. No. But what are we supposed to do? Give me the hint. You tell me
I
what
think
we're
that
supposed
horse
to
is
do.
long out of the barn back in 2014, 15,
Thank
16.
you. Thank you.
But
Mrs. Keith came onto the board in January, got hit with this. First thing.
Joe, I signed up for this and I serve the public, and I'm happy to be here despite it being difficult. And if I may say, I don't think that Mr. Reese is being disrespectful. I think he is giving his opinion, which he has a right to do, whether or not we like it or not. So, thank you for speaking.
I'm going to say, I shouldn't use the term dog pony show.
That's it.
And
I'm glad you said that, because that's what's...
that was definitely pejorative. I should not have said it.
It never came out of your mouth.
You're 100% right. You should not have. You should not have. And I didn't.
Dog and pony show. All we do is talk about finance on this board. You're calling it a dog.
No, actually, that's not true, Mr. Avascalo, because for 4 years, the finance committee never met. Mr. Bruno said that himself the last meeting. So don't say that's all you guys do. It didn't happen for 4 years. That's, to me, that's where that verbiage came from. I shouldn't have used it in that way. And I apologize to you, and I apologize to all of you who are on this board.
In that regard, I accept your apology.
Thank you. Thank you for your time. Again, I'm not trying to be smart. Okay, look, these two of those 4 women you mentioned are not only my friends, but they're in my building, and I'm their union rep. And if I didn't stand up here, I would get this over tonight. Thank you.
Kittredge? Karen? Well, we don't have a first name, I'm sorry.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Catherine Kittredge. I want to acknowledge the efforts of the teaching staff in the school system. My son is now a sophomore, and from age 5 and up, we've had nothing but high quality caliber administration and staff. However, bit by bit, we've had a lot of trade-offs, and in much smaller situations than what it looks like we're in for now. Bit by bit, he had 37 kids in his class, most of his younger years in the school system. They worked on that, they moved buildings around. He was fortunate enough to be placed in a gifted program. The next year they cut it, that was the end of the gifted program. Then they put it back in for 7 a.m., which conflicted with district band, so they cut it again. I have seen very small bits and pieces of cutting the budget. This seriously concerns me now because this is major. We have gone through this, and many of the parents and educators have gone through it already in some shape or form. Now I'm wondering, he's a sophomore, what am I in for next year with this? Because I have tried to explain, okay, they don't have this, but they have this. They are offering this, but that went away. Okay, we toughed it out. They have an AP program. He was fortunate enough to be placed in that. The school was honored for that. Can I honestly say you're going to have it next year? I would like to, but I'm cautious. I have had hopes, great hopes, that the lacrosse program will be introduced. We've been there for 4 years. We've been waiting. Lyndhurst is a very powerful fundraising town. If there's an issue with this sport, the parents will step up and work for it. My son played on a hockey team here. You know, a lot of fundraising is involved with hockey. It's expensive. Lacrosse went down. There I am again saying, okay, well, we didn't make it on lacrosse. But we're still going to the marching band. We hope. So with all the efforts that you're all putting in, I'm stepping up as a parent, a taxpayer, and I also have a lot of senior citizens of my neighborhood that are on fixed incomes. A lot of them went to the last meeting and said, we don't know what they're doing. And I said, okay, well, there's a lot of decisions to be made, but I felt that I should express that we have been down this road and only a tiny percentage of this now. Now we're going in the big time. And I'm kind of cautious on this. When Mr. Donovan asked about the 2%, I guess commission or fee or something, I thought, wow, gee, that's excellent. Perhaps that could have been done a few years ago by someone who, else. Maybe we wouldn't be in this situation. So I'm very respectful of the educators here. I'm the parent of a child of educators and a large teaching family down here. I'm also the daughter of a union negotiator and a board of ed member. So I've got all the hats. And plus, the seniors in my neighborhood and on the fixed income, and the property tax, and the parent. But I have chipped away with the school system and toughed it out and gone along with it because of the caliber of the teaching staff and the administration. And thought, okay, it's worth it. They have the program, somebody's seeing the light, putting this program in. Now I'm wondering how much more can they hold on to? So I encourage you, we've got thoughts on all this, everyone's working hard, but we have to do it in the same procedure before, and now we're on big. And that does cause some anxiety with the taxpayers, their standpoint, people, the kids are very well aware of this. They're like, I don't know, we're going to have a coach, we're going to have this, we're going to have that, I don't know. So I just encourage you to, try to consider all these people that have all these different views. Thank you for all your efforts on this.
Thank you. I have a motion to adjourn. All in favor? Aye.
You guys